The other day, I threatened to talk about reincarnation. It's a hot button topic, and just keep an open mind. Some religions accept the concept of the soul continuing after the physical body dies and then re-experiencing life again in a different form, and some religions do not. Some spiritual traditions accept that, teach that, and some do not. There are lots of reasons why reincarnation makes sense, and from some religious perspectives, reasons why it doesn't make sense. I'm here to share with you some information on it, and then you see what feels right. Exactly. It's a great topic, I agree. So this will be a several day discussion, given the time constraints that we have on Instagram and TV. So believe me, I'd love to sit down and have a 3-hour conversation with you about this, because it's juicy. Lots of juicy bits about reincarnation, but we'll do little segments and then meditate together. I'm going to read something out of the book Ancient Wisdom for a New Age. It's an analogy. I'm going to read an analogy that helps put into context or put into perspective the relationship between our soul and our temporary vehicles of experience. Our soul and our temporary vehicles to gain experience. So if you'd like, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, just chill out for a moment. Imagine, if you will, a rover, a vehicle transported through space to a land on a far distant planet. It only comes to life when it arrives at its destination after a long and precarious journey. A signal from the command center activates it. The rover has known no other existence until it comes to life in this alien environment. If it performs as expected, it explores the surrounding area, sampling and testing various materials in its environment, and faithfully transmitting the raw data to the command center millions and millions of miles away. It knows nothing about this command center except that it receives instructions from it from time to time and is expected to respond, sending back the data as it's collected. At the end of its allotted time, the rover is not brought back, but it dies slowly as its life force wears down until it is no longer a functioning vehicle. Its life experience now no longer exists within its own structure, but has been carefully recorded at home. The data collected now goes through a long process. Billions of bits of information are sifted through, and only the most pertinent are retained. The remainder goes to long-term storage, where it can be reviewed at some future date if necessary. At some point in the future, the command center will send a new and improved vehicle to the same or a different planet to again collect information to experience life in another alien environment. The command center is the real life force of all the vehicles, not the individual vehicles that gather the information. But without the various vehicles and the information they supply, there'd be no reason for the command center to exist. It would be useless. So what's the problem here? The problem is we associate our sense of self with the temporary vehicle, not with the more permanent command center, otherwise known as our higher self. Nothing more to be said about that right now. Let's just go into a state of meditation and ponder that. Before you close your eyes, let's reacquaint ourselves with the third eye center. So there are several physical techniques from the Hatha yoga tradition to do that. So please curl your tongue back and press the bottom of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Press 3 fingers at the very top of your head, gently. Close the eyes, and then begin to breathe. When you feel the physical air entering the nostrils, become sensitive to the subtle, the etheric counterpart of the air, which is prana, and send the prana into the midpoint between your tongue and the three fingers on the top of your head. The midpoint, the seat of our command center. Once you've concentrated your own awareness at this command center, the point between your tongue and the fingers, you can release the tongue and the fingers, but make sure that you have a focal point there. Your awareness is centered there. The wise yogis of the past tell us this location in the body is the physical representation of our command center, also known as Agnya or Ajna chakra. Now I'd like you to please slow the breath down and make it even deeper. Take advantage of the full capacity of your lungs. Regulating the intake and the expenditure of the breath, regulating it by way of constricting the throat. Keeping awareness at third eye, midbrain, middle of the head. With each inhale, a heightened concentration of awareness builds there. And where there's a concentration of awareness, there's heightened energy, mental energy, prana, perhaps even heat or light. Where energy flows, consciousness goes. And where consciousness is concentrated, energy is magnetized to that space. So it goes both ways. You breathe through the nose, send energy to the midbrain, consciousness is developed there. Intend for your consciousness to be developed there, and energy will be drawn to that space. Keep the breath deep and smooth. Please release the breathing technique. Maintain your awareness at the midbrain. If the mind wanders, just bring it back. Train the mind to stay still. It will naturally think of other things. Just bring it back. The yogis give us another technique to orient ourselves to our higher self, and that's becoming the watcher of the thoughts through a process called chitakasha. Chitakasha can be translated to the screen or the field of mind, the field of awareness of mind. And we can find this screen of mind, either on the inside of our forehead or perhaps a few inches in front of our forehead in space. And on this screen is projected our thought forms. So with our awareness rooted at the third eye in the middle of the brain, watch the screen. Just like you're watching a movie. Your thoughts are projected either onto the inside of the forehead or in space a few inches in front of the face, in front of the head. If it's challenging to see anything, don't worry. Just have an open mind and be aware. You might see abstract shapes, colors. You might see impressionist paintings, finger paintings, splashes of light, or concrete thought forms. Just watch. For the last moment or so, I'd like us to intend to see the color blue. Now, whatever that means to you, if it's a feeling, sensations are associated with colors if you feel something, or if you actually activate the visual cortex and see it. Now see the color purple, green, orange, see the color yellow on the screen of the mind. And finally, the color gold. And allow this gold light to encompass more of you. Allow it to create a glow from the screen of the mind around the head, enveloping the physical body. Let's all breathe in together. Take a full breath and hold the breath. Golden light outside the body, inside the body, swirling, healing, energizing. Open the mouth. Slowly open the eyes. Thank you for meditating with me. Thank you for meditating for yourself. See you tomorrow morning at 7. Have an awesome Tuesday. Namaste.